So the PCE is out, and it did its level best to keep intentions in place. The print was spot on expectations. A bit of a beat would have been so much nicer and would have probably caused a lot of exuberance and excitement out there. There was a downward revision on August numbers by 0.1%, but it's not going to be enough to give us the real relief that a nice, let's say a 3.2% would have supplied. Alas, we will have to look forward to the next CPI and the next PCE to provide us with a clear path to the inflation victory that we're all looking forward to. It's coming, I promise you. Well, what do I know? I go off of Truflation, and Truflation has, continued to show the right numbers. Anyway, but Tesla is not helping in the cause. It's not helping to beat inflation because they are raising prices, and that should put a smile on your face. This is Randy Kirk. You know why you need to hit the like and subscribe and notify. So later today we have Larry Goldberg. That'll be late in the day, probably around 4 o'clock California time, and he'll be helping me cover all the good news from the past week, and there has been some. And then around noon, I'm going to be looking at 10 ways that this BP $100 million order that Tesla got, 10 ways that that's going to benefit Tesla, ways that maybe you've thought of. I mean, maybe you haven't, but nobody else is talking about most of them. So a couple of them, yes, others have talked about, but I've got some things that I think you'll find interesting. And then tomorrow, my friend Bill Rayman, who's the author of Insider Secrets to Buying a Home, he's going to dig deep into the whole mortgage issue, something I know a ton about, but Bill's even smarter than me. Oh, that sounded horrible. Bill is really smart. Well, it's my head getting too big here. Anyway, this is a much watched episode tomorrow morning. All right. Oh yes, and by the way, buy, $25. You know the whole story, right? I'll talk about it later. All right. So FX Street is the name of an app, is reporting on the PCE this morning, and it says inflation in the U.S. as measured by the change in personal consumption expenditures, the PCE price index was 3.4 on a yearly basis in September. This is according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis. This reading matched exactly the August reading, which was revised down from 3.5. So we got 3.4 2 months in a row and came in exactly in line with market expectations. The annual core PCE, came in at 3.7, slightly less than the 3.8 from last month, which was also revised down from 3.9. The increase recorded on a monthly basis, the PCE price index and the core PCE price index increased 0.4 and 0.3 respectively. So you would be looking at the core at that same level, 3.6 roughly year over year. So not year over year, but on a running basis. So within services, this is not from FX Street. This is from the actual website put out by the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Within services, the largest contributors to the increase were other services led by international travel, housing and utilities led by housing, and healthcare led by hospitals and nursing homes, and finally transportation led by air transportation. So international travel and transportation, this is something that has been holding up quite nicely, because guess what? Folks like you and me, because almost all of us on this channel are grandparents, we're going to travel. We're going to go see our kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, and that's just the way it's going to be. And there's plenty of money in our bank accounts and our stock funds, so we're going to travel. And I don't see that, and that might be a hard one to get down. We'll see what happens. Maybe with oil prices kind of flattening, we'll see some help in that direction. So within the goods sector, other non-durable goods led by prescription drugs and motor vehicles and parts led by new motor vehicles were the leading contributors to the increase. So that's what we've got out of those folks. So Truflation was down a tick to 2.31. So it's a full point under. And it's now been 4.5 months that it's been around 2.5, as low as 2.2, as high as 2.7, but really around 2.5 for 4.5 months. Not 100% sure why Truflation is off a full point from what the PCE is showing even after all these months. All right. So overnight, given time to fully digest the Amazon results, the stock is now up strongly this morning, and Tesla is also having a strong start. So the NASDAQ is up nicely. The entire story this morning is kind of a good-looking day. I'm guessing Tesla's probably up because it had lots of really good news overnight. In fact, you might think it would be up more than that. So some analysts are looking at statements by Mercedes, Toyota, General Motors, Ford, and others that are saying that there's evidence that the EV revolution has stalled, that stagnated, that people aren't as interested. They punished Polestar yesterday, who said that demand is fine for them, but their stock went down. This idea might be one reason that Tesla's had a little bit of a trouble getting some traction this week. It's been up more than the market and then slid back down to its kind of 2 times the NASDAQ all week long. Now, I did say it would follow the NASDAQ this week until today. And then if the PCE was good, I think we could see Tesla starting to move better than the NASDAQ. The truth is that other brands are not providing compelling products at a compelling price. The ones that are complaining about the whole BEV market being softer and they're having problems selling vehicles, that they don't have compelling products at compelling prices like Tesla does, and Tesla's sales continue to be up strongly. I believe right now 37% year over year in a very tough environment. But it does create just one reason why Tesla can actually provide they need to get some advertising going, because I was really thinking about this. It's the next tier of buyers that we need at this point. We've got the easy ones. We've got the ones that are interested in the environment, interested in saving the planet, all that kind of stuff. The folks that are, virtue signaling, the folks that are just always looking for the hot new thing. You might be one of them. You buy the hottest computer or the hottest television, as soon as they come out, because you want to see the new tech. So those folks, they're already involved. They're already doing stuff. And I think it's going to take some advertising to get that next wave. Teslas are superior in every way compared to their ICE equivalents, and their prices now are so good, it is time to let the folks know. Anyway, that is my continuing cry right now. I'm joining the crew that's saying it's time to advertise. And Elon says he's going to. So come on, Elon, let's get it going. Now, in some cases, you have someone who can carry the message to Tesla. You need this BP thing, this $100 million contract, more proactive efforts to gain opportunities in the fleet world. I mean, we've got BP. I don't know whether Tesla went to BP or BP came to Tesla, but there's so many opportunities out there. BP provides their services to folks that are in the fleet business. And I've been saying since I helped write the book, one of the 4 that wrote the book on the Elon Musk mission, that fleet businesses, I believe, where Tesla should be being extremely proactive. They need a fleet team. They need fleet managers. They need people out there talking to these fleet folks. And maybe this BP thing will be what will help them. I mean, if you're selling the fleets, it helps to modify the overall curve. When things are a little tough in the retail field, you can be out there pushing harder on the fleets. If you haven't got your copy of the Elon Musk mission, anyway, okay. So Tesla Model 3 Plus deliveries have begun in China. So that'll be a big help, and that would be a piece of good news that I would think would be moving Tesla stock prices this morning. And then they've raised the price on the Model Y long range in the US by 500. They raised the price of the Performance by 2,000 in China. They had lowered the price by 2,000 in China. Now they're reversing that, and they've raised the price in China by $2,000. along with that $500 price increase in the US on the Model Y long range. These are moves in the right direction. This is also another signal maybe that things are improving. Elon Musk and Tesla can perhaps breathe a small sigh of relief. According to an article this morning, I forget where it was, they reportedly have gotten a reprieve from the EU's China probe. Tesla has escaped Europe's regulatory scrutiny, at least for now. The US car maker is not being investigated by regulators over market distorting subsidies. According to the South China Morning Post, the EU is reportedly focusing on BYD, SAIC, and Geely. I think it's Geely. Anyway, Cruise has suspended all activities now related to their robo-taxis, if you will. With the huge losses and with them being kicked out of California for now, maybe this is an opportunity for them to take an off-ramp on this, at least for the near term, maybe even for the midterm. It just hasn't been doing that well in general. And General Motors has other fish to fry. They probably should be concentrating elsewhere. I attended a SpaceX. I'm sorry, SpaceX. I attended a Spaces meeting yesterday on X, and I heard 3 veterans of FSD all say that they would totally ride in the back seat of a Tesla on FSD in town under 40 miles an hour. And they basically wouldn't be worried about that. They would be fine. They could take a nap as the car drove around town. They all kind of also agreed that the only reason why it would be any scarier on the highway is because Teslas is still experiencing some lane drift on highways. And even then, 2 out of the 3 said, no, I would probably even be perfectly happy to take a nap in my Tesla while on FSD. Would you, in the comments below, if you have FSD and you're driving it around in any significant amounts, would you indicate whether you would be willing to drive it at this point while napping or while in the back seat? I thought that was an interesting observation by those guys. Intel Corporation is surging in trading this morning after predicting a return to sales growth in the fourth quarter, fueled by an improved personal computer market and a more competitive product line. So for the tech sector, that only leaves Apple, who will be reporting next week on the 2nd. All right, let's take a look at where markets are going this morning. We have got the Dow, which has been up and down right now, is down 89 points. We have the NASDAQ, which is doing the opposite, up 89 points. That's really funny. The S&P is up $1.59, and Tesla is now up 422. It has been up as much as 5, but it is also right now turning and looking like it's headed back up again. It has been kind of up and down, but around $5 this morning in terms of being up. I think it's even up as high as 6. We've got the Magnificent 7 all up nicely, except for Google, who continues to struggle after their earnings report. Apple is up, etc. Let me look at percentages because some of you like to hear that. The NASDAQ is up 0.76. The Dow is down 0.28. S&P is up 0.07. Tesla up 2%. And then the Cathie Woods are all down this morning, which is interesting because last I checked, bonds were just barely ticking up a little tiny bit. Let's take a look at where all of that is going right now. It's not, come on, load. Okay, here we go. So we've got Bitcoin. We have the Bitcoin up 182, still right around that 34,000 level. We have got the dollar. Let's see, the dollar is rising a little bit. We've got gold down just a tad, but still just under 2,000. So it's still strong. We've got oil up just pennies, 39 cents up to 83.60. Totally good. And then bonds, it's like 0.002. So very flat. So I'm curious why the Cathie Woods, these are the Cathie Woods for those of you who don't watch every day. The Cathie Woods are the risky growth stocks that Cathie Woods likes to invest in. And I have a whole row of those that I watch every day as kind of an indication of what those risky growth stocks are doing in general. And then if we look at deeper into the bonds, we've got the 2-month down just a tiny bit. We've got the 2-year down just a tiny bit, and the 10-year up so basically the bonds are all flat this morning. That would typically give the Cathie Wood stocks buoyancy. So that's a little bit of a surprise. Another quick look just for fun back to Tesla continues to be up now just under 4 at $3.67. So it is tending down. So we've got kind of a tending down. We'll look at it in a minute again if you want to hang out while I talk about what's coming and what's been happening. Yesterday I did an analysis that you'll want to take. I'll put the card up right here. I forget what it was, but it was really good. And it got huge numbers. So you probably already saw it, but if you didn't, I'll put a card right here. And then coming up today, we have got that analysis of 10 big things, major things that BP, the $100 million purchase, are going to do for Tesla. You'll want to see that. And then later on today, Larry Goldberg will join me. We'll look at the Good News Friday report. We evaluate the whole week, where things are standing after this PCE report. And then, as I mentioned, Bill Rayman, who is down, his information is down below. If you have any thoughts about getting a mortgage, now in the future, your friends, your neighbors, your kids, grandkids, if any of them are looking to get a mortgage right now, they want to talk to Bill first. I mean, they don't even have to do business with him. They just want to talk to him, okay? Because he knows so much more than most mortgage brokers do about the markets. Okay, and then that'll be tomorrow morning where I talk to Bill about this PCE print, what it means for mortgages, what it means in general. He's got a tremendous number of theories with regard to bonds and mortgages. Anyway, a must-see tomorrow morning. And then, okay, let's run through it one more time. It is 3 millimeters thick. It is made out of stainless, just like a Cybertruck. It is selling like crazy. People know that it's a great gift, but they also want it for themselves. Let's see. I don't have anything new to say. Could you guys all say my pitch all in unison? Could we all do the pitch? It's $25 if you buy one. It's 22. Anyway, if you buy two, it's $45. You save $5. If you buy three, it's $65. You save $10. And then if you buy 10, you can get it for $21 a piece. It's $210. And if you buy 20, you can buy it for $20 a piece or $400. If you're outside the country, please add $20 to any of those numbers. And if you join Patreon, where I am currently putting up news 2 to 5 times a day as it breaks, as I am wandering around the internet, finding all this news that I report to you, and I see something that's exciting and interesting and I think will benefit you, I put that up on Patreon. And thank you so much for all the folks that have joined Patreon in the last few days. It's been fantastic. And you get one of these for free if you join. And please let me know camo or the regular style when you place your order. Tesla now at 326. Yes, in general, things are trending off this morning after starting higher. The Dow is now still off 85 and NASDAQ still up 96. So it's pretty flat to down right now. The energy has gone out of the good news from the PCE. What do I think is going to happen the rest of the day? Good. You know what? I don't know. There you go. I just don't know. I would have thought that the PCE print would result a perfect print, which was what we got. I mean, exactly what the street was expecting, that I would have seen a beginning of maybe relief that everything's going to be fine and let's go ahead and continue the rally. We're not seeing that yet. I'll report tonight with Larry. Larry and I'll talk about that. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. It's been great talking to you.